What's going on YouTube? It's your guy Darren, Bowtie Fragrance Guy, man. We're going to talk about fragrances and fashion on this channel. That's how we roll. That's how we get down. So if you're somebody that likes to look good and smell great, then I think you stumbled upon the right channel. So go ahead, if you don't mind, consider clicking the subscribe button, and also make sure you tap the bell icon as well, and YouTube may notify you when I upload new content on the channel. So guys, on today's video, I'm going to be talking about some mass appealing, like crowd pleasing fragrances. These are some of the most versatile fragrances I have in my collection. And when I think about versatility, I think about fragrances that you can wear pretty much anytime, any place, anywhere. Whether you're wearing a t-shirt or whether or not you're wearing a suit, you can wear these fragrances and pretty much any time of the year get away with it. So with that being said, these are fragrances that I think really are bring value to the table. When you can get one fragrance and it meets all of that criteria, not to mention the fact that, again, like I said, most of these are crowd-pleasing fragrances, so they're well received, then in my opinion, those are some fragrances that you may want to look further into. So if you want to see what made this list of 10 crowd-pleasing fragrances, these are the kings of versatility, then you know the routine, man. Keep it locked right here. All right, guys, we're back. Thank you so much for keeping it locked in. Let's go ahead and jump right into this list. Now, this list does feature both designer as well as niche fragrances, so there should be something on this list for everybody. The first fragrance up on the list today is a designer fragrance from the house of Prada. It's a new release, but man, this stuff is good. And this is from the Luna Rossa line, and this is Prada Luna Rossa Ocean. Prada Luna Rossa Ocean. Now, I just got this fragrance and I've already put a little dent in this fragrance because I've really been enjoying this scent. Again, to me, this is one of the best releases of 2021 so far. The more I wear this fragrance starts to remind me a little bit of one of my favorite niche fragrances, which is Creed Original Santal. Now, they don't smell exactly alike, but to me, the fragrances are kind of structured the same way. It's really fresh when it opens up, and then when it starts to dry down, it gets really, you get some of those sweeter notes in there. You get some iris in here. You got the lavender, of course, that signature lavender note with other fragrances from this line. But I really love the caramel note in this fragrance. It gives it a nice kind of almost gourmand sweetness, just like you see with Original Santal. When it starts to dry down, you got the cinnamon and things of that nature, the tonka bean in that one. Beautiful scent right here, man. This is crowd pleasing. It's mass appealing. And listen, it's one that I think that you need to add to your collection. So check it out, man. This is a good one from the house of Prada. This is called Luna Rossa Ocean. All right, guys, now the next fragrance up on this list, this is a niche fragrance, and it comes from the house of Atelier des Ors, and this is called Riviera Drive. Riviera Drive. Now, if you've heard other people speak about this fragrance before, they probably mentioned Creed Aventus, and I guess there's a slight similarity there, but to me, if I would compare this to something, it would really smell a little bit more closer to something like maybe Hachivat than Creed Aventus. It does not have pineapple, it has lemon in it, so it's a different kind of fruity opening, but it's really good, man. This one features a note of absinthe, which is a note that I talked about recently on the newest Killian release, so that gives a slightly kind of boozy quality to this fragrance, but it's really, really, really good, man. It's really spicy. And I think it's one that, again, that really appeals to a mass audience of people. It's really, really good. Does the same thing, you know, that a Creed Aventus or fragrances like that would do. But this stuff, man, I'm telling you, gets a lot of attention. So check it out if you have a chance to get your hands on a bottle of this stuff from the house of Atelier des Ors. Again, this one is called Riviera Drive. All right, guys, the next fragrance on this list comes from the house of Yves Saint Laurent, and this is YSLY Les Parfums. YSLY Les Parfums. Now, the original DNA of this fragrance was already fantastic, but they add some heavier notes in this one, some darker notes. You get some orbanum in here, and they amped up the patchouli in this one as well as the tonka bean. So made it a little bit more versatile than the original EDP. This stuff performs well, and of course, you already know the YSLY DNA is very much a crowd-pleasing, mass-appealing kind of DNA. So this is one that definitely deserves a spot on a list like this. If we talk about fragrances that are crowd-pleasing and versatile, definitely one that you need to be taking a look at from the house of YSL. Again, this is why Le Parfum. All right, the next fragrance up on this list comes from the house of Mancera, and this one is called Acqu Lemon Mint. Acqu Lemon Mint, again, very crowd pleasing, very, very versatile fragrance right here. You get a nice citrus opening, of course, with the lemon, but immediately you get hit with some spiciness from like a peppery accord, as well as some creaminess from almond. So it seems like there's a lot going on there, but trust me, it really, really works. And of course, when the fragrance starts to dry down, you get the oud in there, although it's not really, really heavy. I do pick it up. But man, this stuff is really, really good. And to my surprise, when I wear this, a lot of people are really, really drawn to this fragrance. And the way that it's composed, the genetic makeup of this fragrance makes it a fragrance that is very, very versatile. So you can wear this fragrance pretty much year round and it's gonna work. So check it out. Some people know about this fragrance, although I don't think as many people talk about this one as they should. From the house of Mancera, this is called Acqu Lemon Mint. All right, the next fragrance on this list comes from the house of Giorgio Armani, and this one is Acqu Di Gio Profondo. Acqu Di Gio Profondo. What do I always say when I talk about this fragrance? When you take the best-selling men fragrance of all time and make it even better by adding incense and patchouli, you get this beautiful fragrance right here. And again, this is one that came out about 5 or 6 years ago, and there's been some other releases from the same line that have come out, and this one is kind of start to, in my opinion, be kind of forgotten about. But when you talk about fragrances that are crowd pleasing, fragrances that are versatile, this is one of the best still in the game. So of course, check this one out from the house of Giorgio Armani. This is still one of the best in the game, man. This is called Acqu Di Gio Profondo. All right, the next fragrance on this list comes from the house of Parfums de Marly, and this one is called Percival. Percival. You talk about a fragrance that is mass appealing and versatile, man, this is it right here in a bottle. This fragrance, of course, when I got it, I really enjoyed it because one of my signature scents from back in the day was, of course, probably like everybody else, Abercrombie and Fitch Fierce. I used to rock the heck out of that fragrance, and I rock the heck out of this one as well. It's a little bit more mature version of that fragrance DNA, if you ask me. This fragrance came out in the year of 2008, and to me, it kind of initiated the amberwood craze that we're seeing nowadays. Most fragrances today, you know, now use that amberwood note in it, and this, to my knowledge, is one of the first very, very popular fragrances to really feature a note of amberwood on the dry down. Really, really good, mass appealing, smells great. Men and women alike compliment this fragrance. So definitely deserve a spot on a list like this. If you're talking about fragrances that are very versatile and fragrances that are crowd pleasing, you got to take a look at Percival from the house of Parfums de Marly. Now the next fragrance on this list is another one that definitely needs no introduction whatsoever, and I'm not even going to spend a lot of time on it, but I had to put it on the list from the house of Chanel. This is Bleu de Chanel Parfum. Bleu de Chanel Parfum. And this is my favorite of the three. I love the EDP. The EDT works as well, but man, the Parfum, when you get that extra amped up woody notes in this one, it just really works, especially when you talk about versatility. That makes it even better to wear even in some of the cooler temperatures versus something like the EDP or the EDT, in my opinion. So my favorite of the whole line, again, the amped up woods makes it even more versatile. And of course, Bleu de Chanel has always been crowd pleasing. So this is one that you definitely need to have in your collection if you're looking for something versatile, easy to wear, can take you from season to season, from reason to reason. Check this one out. This is Bleu de Chanel Parfum. All right, guys, and the next fragrance on this list, man, I love this stuff from the house of Roja Dove. This is Elysium. This is Elysium, and I actually been finding myself wearing this one a little bit more than even a vintage these days. Maybe it's because I'm trying to kind of preserve and hold on to my 4-ounce bottle of a vintage that I have. I got about 40% left, but man, I definitely feel like I'm not losing anything at all when I put this on. This fragrance is classy and sophisticated, and man, you talk about crowd pleasing. Every time I wear this fragrance, I get a compliment of some kind. It's just good, man. Again, not going to spend a lot of time on this one, just like Bleu de Chanel. You guys know this stuff is good. But when we talk about fragrances that are crowd pleasing and that are versatile, again, any season, any reason, check out Elysium from the house of Roja Dove. All right, guys, now the next fragrance on this list, you saw this one is very familiar. It was featured last week on a video that I did with Mrs. Bowtie. Man, check this stuff out, guys, from the house of Yves Saint Laurent. This is L'Homme Le Parfum. L'Homme Le Parfum. It gives you the best that you got from the original L'Homme with a blue kind of Dylan blue kind of DNA embedded in the base of it. And this stuff smells fantastic. It smells fantastic. So again, because of the way it is composed, just like I talked about with every other fragrance on this list, you can get away with wearing this fragrance year round. This is signature scent worthy. It is versatile. It is crowd pleasing. It is good. It does everything that you want a fragrance to do and more. From the house of YSL, again, this is called L'Homme Le Parfum. And the last fragrance on this list, guys, this fragrance comes from the house of Nichane, and of course, this is called Acqu Di Gio. One of the best performing fragrances in my collection goes to this fragrance right here. And of course, I told you guys stories before about coming out of the pandemic and how I was getting compliments with this fragrance and the whole nine. So it works in that regard. It's one just like the other fragrances that would kind of resemble this kind of DNA. Of course, I'm not going to go through and mention all these fragrances that have a similar DNA to this. But man, the cherry on top of the sundae with this fragrance is the fact that it performs so well. I ranted and raved when I first got this fragrance about how long you could see the oil residue on my hand when I put it on. So again, this fragrance is definitely one that deserves a spot on a list like this because it's going to be everything that you needed to be from the house of Nichane. If you haven't done it yet, I highly recommend that you check this one out. Again, this is called Acqu Di Gio. All right, guys, that's it. That's my time, man. I hope you enjoyed this video as I gave you 10 crowd-pleasing kings of versatility type fragrances. As always, I appreciate your time and your attention to my videos because, of course, you could have been anywhere else in the world. But you're right here with me, and I sincerely appreciate it. Now, don't forget to take a few moments to like, comment, and subscribe. And share these videos out to folks that you think could use this information or find it entertaining because I'm your guy, Darian, the bow tie fragrance guy. I love to look good, and of course, I love to smell amazing. So until next time, guys, keep looking good, keep smelling even better. I'll catch you on the flip side. Peace.